Hey guys, what's going on? This is Wes. Welcome you to this tutorial. As you can see on the screen, I've got two plans. First one is the ground floor and the second one is the first floor. So I will show you how to make these two plans step by step, and I will explain these commands as well. So once we've done, we will take these plans and convert them to a 3D model. And after completing the 3D model, I will apply some basic materials and render that. This tutorial is not about rendering and materials, but you will get an idea how to render and how to apply materials. Let's start with drawing. I'm going to start a new drawing by clicking start drawing. And now I'm going to show you how you can set up your drawing for architectural work. So the first thing you need to do is change your units. So type units, press enter, and change type to architectural, and precision should be 1/4. Click OK, and then type limits, enter one more time, and give a value of 200 feet by 200 feet. And then one thing you need to do, that is zoom all. So type Z, enter, and then A for all. And now I'm going to turn off my grid because I don't like to work when grid is on. And now we can start working on our drawing. So the area we have for our drawing would be, an X value would be 25 feet and Y value would be 60 feet. So, well, I'm not sure about the area, so I'm going to start by drawing a line. So I start from this arbitrary point and I give a value of 60 feet. That's roughly 60 feet, and I start another line from here to 25 feet, and then I click right click for, you can use enter, right click or spacebar, whatever you like. So I'm gonna give a value of let's say 4.5 inch would be our wall value. So I give an offset of that, and then maybe I draw another line here of 60 feet as well. So we need our boundary, basically that's what we're gonna work on. So make another wall of 4.5 feet by using offset command. And now I'm going to use filler command. You can use trim command to get rid of these lines as well, but I'm going to use filler command. And now you need to check the radius. The radius should be 0, so click on radius, that's 0, press spacebar one more time, and then choose these two lines to get rid of. I can start previous command by pressing spacebar again. If you want to know how I do it, you need to check my other tutorials on AutoCAD. And now let's make a garage first. So I'll give a value of 15 feet from this line to here, and 15 feet from this line to here. And then I'm gonna make another wall for 4.5 inch inside. And now I can use my filler command to get rid of those lines. And I'm going to extend this line by grabbing this vertex and dropping this there. Alright, so now I've got my garage done. I'm going to get rid of these two lines, and now let's make a room here and an entrance. So, well, I'll give a value of 4 feet. That would be our entrance door, and make another 4.5 inch rough wall here. And now I'm going to give a value of, I'm going to separate these two lines, so I need to trim off this line, and I'm going to give a value of about 12 feet from the bottom. Alright, so make another wall 4.5 inch. I'm using offset command, so if you want to know how to use offset command, you need to check my other tutorial. And now I'm going to give another value of maybe 6 feet for our stairs, and make another wall of 4.5 inch. That's done. Get rid of these two lines. I'm going to extend these two lines by using extend command. Type EX for the extend command, press spacebar one more time, and extend these two lines. And now I can get rid of these lines, and I'm gonna give another offset of 3 feet, and I'm going to make another wall of 4.5 inch. Alright, so now get rid of these lines and this line, that would be of a door. So you know the selection, the blue selection window only selects whatever comes in it, a complete object. So select these two lines, get rid of these as well. And now I've got my stairs there, and let's make another room of 10 feet and make another wall 4.5 inch. And now I can basically use my fillet command, use this line to this line, and now you can extend these lines and make another wall 4.5 inch. Done. Get rid of these. Alright, so basically this is our study area, that's our stairs, and that's another room we got. Okay, so now I'm going to extend these lines as well, and I'm gonna trim off these two lines, use my fillet command, and I think I've got this object here, so I'll select that vertex and just drop it there. Okay, so now, and I need this line about here, and I need to get rid of these two lines as well. And I'll make another line, and I can use my fillet command and this line there. Okay, so now I've got this study area here, I've got entrance done, I've got this one done, and now I'm gonna start making some drawings here. So I'll offset about 4 feet from this area, and I'm going to trim off this, get this vertex and just put it there. Now I'm gonna make another wall width 4.5 inch, and now I'm going to get rid of these lines as well. I'm gonna give an offset of 6 feet from this line, and then give another offset of 4.5 inch for the wall, and just make another line from here to here and give another offset of 4.5 inch. That's done. And now what I'm going to do is basically I'm going to make a line here and give another offset of 4.5 inch, and use your fillet command to get rid of these, and I can just trim off this as well. And I can actually extend these two lines, extend this one all the way up, and trim off this line, and you can make another line here. So just trim off that area, and you've got to get rid of this line. Okay, so I'm going to give a bit 20 feet offset from this line to all the way up, and then I'm going to fillet this line with this and just fillet that as well, and give an offset of 4.5 inch for the wall area. And you can grab these two lines and just use the vertex instead of using the trim command. Alright, and get rid of this as well. Alright, so basically our drawing is ground floor is done, and now what we're gonna do, we're gonna start, because I'm gonna start making doors and windows and the kitchen areas and the interior in the house. So it's the best practice that you can start working on layers. Now let's go to layer properties, and now make another layer, give a name wall, make another layer of doors, another layer for windows, and make another of 2D interior. I'm gonna give a color of doors would be about, let's say, give this color, doesn't matter, whatever color you choose, give this color. For the interior, choose this blue color, should be fine, and then just close this dialog box. And now select this whole drawing and make it to the wall, and I deselect by pressing escape and I click on the wall. So now basically whatever we're gonna design, it's gonna be on the wall. So let's just clean up here a little bit as well. Alright, so now I'm gonna start cutting edges because my wall layer is still on, so I can start cutting edges for my doors first. So give a value of 4.5 inch here, and from there, and give a value of 2.5 feet. That's going to give a door, and extend these two lines. Extend that as well. Well, I'm not gonna use this for now, but I will just trim off these two lines. Offset 4.5 inch. Give another offset of 2.5 feet. Extend, and then just trim off. Alright, so now with this area, what I want to do is I want to make another offset of 3 feet. 3 feet, extend that, and give another value of 4.5 inch, and offset about 3, maybe 2 feet, and give another value of 4.5 inch, and get rid of this line, these lines, and these lines. So you can make another line and use your fillet command to fillet that, get rid of these lines. That's going to be our cupboard, or you can put anything here. Okay, so now this is done, and now we can make another door here. So 4.5 inch, and give value of 2 feet, extend, trim. Alright, this is one of the door here as well. So this is basically going to be a small toilet, so I'm going to extend these two lines as well. Alright, just clean up here a little bit. Alright, done. Okay, so that door done, that's done. Now this is basically going to be a kind of open space, so I'm gonna start from middle. 1.5 feet should be fine. Get rid of that line and then just trim off that as well. Alright, so that's done. Our pretty much doors are done now, and I need to make a garage. So for the garage, what you do is basically offset about 1.5 feet, and extend these lines, and then get rid of this line. That's going to be our kind of design when we be making 1 feet. From here to here, and get rid of this line and that, and extend that. That's going to be our something called a designing part of a 3D. Alright, so here I need to do another offset of 1.5 feet down, and from here this side. Alright, so, and I'm going to extend this, and I'm going to give another value of 4.5 inch offset, and get rid of these lines, that line, these lines, and make another wall here, 4.5 inch, get rid of this as well. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to mirror these from the middle, and then I'm going to extend these lines. Alright, so done. Clean up a little bit. That's actually basically it's just a designing for our 3D model, what we're gonna do in later in this video. Okay, so the front's done now. Let's make some stuff for the kitchen now. So I'll zoom in and let's see, check our distance. So in this tutorial I'll show you how to check the distance by using distance command. So type DI, press spacebar, and then just select 2 points. So I'll select this point and I'll select this point. As you can see, it's at 1 feet and 6 inches. So I will offset about 1.6 feet. So that's 1.5 feet. And I will offset about 8 feet. And then I will make another line from here to about 4 feet. Make another line from here and use your fillet command. Okay, so now offset about 1.5 feet. Get rid of this line, get rid of this line, this line. So that's going to be our kitchen area. Let's say we got a shelf here, we got oven, all that stuff over here. So now I can make some interior in the middle here as well. And kitchen's done now. And now what I'm going to do cutting edges for the windows. So I will show you how to do it one, and then I will complete all my windows and I will come back once I'm done. Okay, so to cut the window, I want to check the distance. Use your distance command by typing DI and select these 2 lines. So I've got 6 feet 4.5 inches. So basically I'll select from middle and I will give an offset of 1.5 feet. So the window we're having here is 3 feet. So on the both sides 1.5 feet, that would be 3 feet. So just trim off these 2 lines and then just make another line, and give offset about 2.5 inches. Alright, so that's how I show the window. So I'll select this and then I'll change that to Windows layer. Okay, so now I'm gonna keep my window layer as a current layer so I can start cutting edges. So once I'm done, then I will explain the next step. Alright guys, our windows cutting edge is done. Basically I've done the windows as well. So now I'm going to make doors. So I will make one door and explain how to make doors, and then I will finish all my doors, and once I'm done then I will come back. Alright, so let's make a door here. So let's check the distance by using di distance command. From here to here, that's 3 feet, right? Exactly what we need. So what I want to do, I want to make 2.5 feet door. So I will give a bit of offset of 4.5 inch from here, and I'll give offset of 2.5 feet. Okay, so to get that in the middle, what you have to do is basically extend that, and then trim off these two lines, and then just move these two lines, select from the middle, just make another line here, and move these lines, select these two lines, and select from this middle instead of that middle. So this middle, and just move it to the middle. So now get rid of this reference line and just cut your door area. Alright, so now we got our door area now. That's 2.5 feet door. Alright, so now to make that door, I'm gonna change my layer to doors, and now I can use polyline. So if you don't know about polyline, check my tutorial on polyline on my channel. So PL for polyline, start from the middle, and door is 2.5 feet, so the height would be 2.5 feet, and then just come up a bit 1 inch, and then change that to arc by clicking here, or you can type A and press spacebar and just drop it here. Hi guys, our door is done now. One thing I want to explain in this video is about dynamic blocks. Let's say you've got 500 doors in your drawing, and it's not a good idea to make 500 doors every time you gotta make a door. So what I want to show you is how to make that door as a dynamic block, and you can use that in your drawing. So you can change your dimensions. So to make a block, just type B, enter, give a name. I'm going to give a name of the door, and I'm going to pick a point, about end point of this door, and I'm going to select an object. This is going to be my object. As you can see that I've got a preview of my block here. Now the main thing, you gotta make sure that check this box to open that in a block editor. Alright, so now you've got your door in your block editor. So first parameter what I want to put here is flipping parameters. So I'll click on flip, make sure you are in the parameters, click on flip, select this endpoint and this endpoint, and then just drop that label about here. Doesn't matter wherever you drop that flipping label, it does not really matter. So I've got one flipping here. There's another flipping parameter would be starting from this endpoint to this endpoint, and I just drop that about here. And just make sure that these arrow buttons change that about here. Got one flipping parameter here, I've got one flipping parameter about here. So go to your actions and click on flip, select this parameter, and then select an object, and that's it. You got your flipping parameter done here. And now I'm just gonna move it a little bit up and click on flip again, click your parameters, select an object, enter, and you got that there as well. Alright, so now let's apply some scaling. So click on scale, and now I'm gonna apply a scaling factor first. So go to your linear, starting from here to this point. I'm gonna drop that distance here, and then I'm going back to my actions, click on scale, select this parameter, and then select an object, enter. So you got your scaling factor as well. This would be rotational. So go to your parameter, click on rotation, and select your first radius parameter about here, and then just click in here. So that's going to be your angles, and I'm just gonna drop that label about here. Go back to your actions, click on rotation action, click your parameter, click on object, enter, and you got your rotational action as well. So close your block editor now and save the changes. To insert your block, what you do is type I spacebar and select that D door, or you can select from the label and click OK, and I'm just gonna drop that about here. Done, and I'm gonna select the rotation angle here. So this is done. Now go back to this door, I, enter, OK, select that, done. And now I've got, alright, one of the door, let's say it's a smaller door now, so click press I, spacebar, OK, and then I'm going to drop door here. The angle would be, just leave that angle there, maybe here, and click here, and then you need to flip that door. Zoom in and then just flip it. And then with the scaling factor, click here, click this vertex, and then just drop it there. There you go, guys, you got your door done. You don't have to make every single door again and again. So I'm going to finish off rest of my doors by using that dynamic block, and once I'm done, then I'll come back to you guys. Our doors are done, guys, now. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make stairs now. To start making stairs, just zoom in and draw a line from midpoint and make that reference from this point to about in the middle, and then offset that about 1.5 inch from here to down, and same distance upwards. So now draw another line. Let's see what we got. Alright, so now we got that, and then just delete that middle line and give an offset of 2 feet, and grab that vertex and just drop it there. Or you can actually extend that and then trim off these lines. Alright, so now what I want to do, I want to just move that down and make another separate line object. Now I'm going to use array. So AR for array command, select this object, select that path, select this line for a path. Now you are in the array editor. So I want a distance 9 inch of distance each column, and I want 1 row, that's fine. Alright, so keep associative on. If you want to know about arrays, check my other tutorial. I've got a full video of explaining arrays. So alright, so array is done now, and now I'm going to copy that from this point and just drop it there, and then I'm going to explode that. To explode that, you can use explode command by typing X and then click on this array, and now these are all separate objects. So I'm just going to remove some of the lines, and I'm going to draw another line from this point to this point, get rid of this line, and then draw another line. Hold down shift key, right click and select a nearest, and hold down shift key again, right click, select nearest again, and just drop it there, and delete these 2 lines by using trim command, and make another line here to close that. Alright, so this is how you can make stairs. I'm going to select all these and change that to layer stairs. I need to make one, so click on layer properties, make a new layer by clicking this button and type a name to the stairs, and I will give a color green is fine, and then I will select this object and then make that to the stairs. Okay, so now our stairs are done. Alright guys, our doors are done now, and the next step what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish up a little bit stuff in my drawing. I'm gonna make some kitchen stuff and some interiors to my drawing. Let's say you've got a bedroom, you've got garage here, you need to put cars here. So first let's make a cupboard here. So I'm going to offset 1.5 feet, and then I'm just going to draw 2 lines. That's how I just define my cupboard. So I'm going to select these and go to your layer line type and then click on this. If you don't know how to bring that, you need to click on others, click on load, and there you go, you got all the designs of your line types. So I've already loaded that. So this is my cupboard done now, and the next thing what we're gonna look at is design center. So type DC, enter, and then you get this dialog box. If you don't see this stuff here, so you need to go to your, let's say you're here, right? So you go click on samples, go to your English US, and then click on design center, and then these are the files that you need to make pretty much everything in your drawing. So if you're working on the kitchens, you can go back to your kitchens, click on blocks, and then there you get all the pre-made stuff for you for the kitchen. So we'll use that in this video, but I'm going to open my home space. I click on blocks, so there you go, I've got these tables there, I've got some chairs there. So now let's select this bed. Queen, double click, and then it's gonna insert that as a block. So I'll click OK, and I'll just drop it here, and I'll just give the angle. Alright guys, our interior is done now. So before we start working on the first floor, there's few things we need to do in our plan. So we need to type a text which will define which room is what. So the first thing what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep a copy of this drawing. So I'm going to isolate layer. Let's say I'm just gonna copy that by typing CO, and I just drop it here. And then I'll go to this drawing and I'll isolate the interior layer, and then I'll just get rid of all the interiors from my drawing, and I'll unisolate my layers. So I've got a backup copy for our 3D work. So now let's go back here and then start typing text. So to start typing text, you need to select that single line text, start from here, and then give about 9 inch, and then polar is fine. So I'm gonna start typing living room, double enter to finish the command. So now I'm gonna scale it. I'm gonna scale it to about 0.9. Alright, so now I've got this living room down there. So I'm going to copying that wherever I need the text. So I could change that later. So just copy all your text. That's a garage, that's study, and there's another bedroom here, and I've got this one here, and I've got one kitchen area, and we got this here. Alright, so text is done. To edit the text, you need to, let's say I'm gonna edit this study area, right? double click, and then just start typing. So I'll say study room, done. Alright, so now our text is done as well. So I'm going to do one more thing here because that's going to be our backyard. So I'm going to draw another line from this point, and I'm going to just leave that there, and I'm going to offset 8 feet from the backwards, and I'm going to fill it out. You need to make sure that your radius is 0, and then you can fill it out to this line and fill it out to this line, and I'm going to select these, and I'm going to change that to this line, dotted line. So alright, so now we got pretty much our ground floor done, and now I'm gonna start working on the first floor. But for the ground floor, it's the same command, same things that we're gonna use for the first floor. So I'm not gonna explain how I make first floor, I'm just gonna make it, and once I'm done, I'm gonna fast forward it basically. So once I'm done, I'll go back and we start working on elevation, and then we will make a section, and then we will start working on our 3D model on the top of our drawing. Alright guys, I've got my ground floor done, and I've got a backup copy here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a copy of my ground floor, and I'm just gonna clean up a little bit and make it ready for my first floor work. So you gotta get rid of all of these lines first, get rid of this room as well, except the stairs, because stairs is going to be the same. And just grab the line and then use your filler command. Alright, and that room would be gone actually, so I'm going to delete this line, get rid of this door, and I'm going to extend Alright guys, our first floor and the ground floor is done. So now I'm going to clean up a little bit of my drawing and I'm going to apply some dimensions, and then we will be done by our 2D plan. So let's get started. I'm gonna start applying some hatch commands. So if you're not familiar with hatching, you need to check my other tutorial on hatch. So let's start by, alright, so click on this hatch command and then it's gonna ask you to pick a point. So for the wall, what I'm going to select, I'm going to give a solid white. So I'll click on that. Now our ground floor first floor is done, and these are the backup copies for my 3D work later on, because I don't have to clean up all that stuff later, so that's why I always kept the copies for the 3D work. Alright, so now I'm going to drop another few dimensions here. So to use the dimensions command, if you're not familiar with dimensions, check out my full video on dimensions, but I'll quickly show you how to perform a dimension. So go to your annotation tab, and there you go, you got your dimensions tab here. Click this dimension tab and click on this arrow button, which will take you to dimension style manager, and then you have to click on modify and then go to your primary units first, change that to architectural because that's the architectural work we're doing. Precision, as you know that we set that in the start 1/4, so alright, that's done. And then go to your text. Text should be about 9 inch and aligned with dimension line, should be fine. And arrow symbols, you can change them as well, and pretty much that's it you need to do. Alright, and then close that. So now in this dimension you need to select what kind of dimensions are you doing. So I'm going to get a linear first, and I'm going to give a full on dimension from this point to this point. That's 20 feet 11 inch. I'm going to give another dimension for my window, and I'm going to give another dimension for my door. Let's drop it down here. Alright, so now for the garage, use the same command, give a dimension but here. Well, the best practice to do that you need to do all these dimensions and then write them as a text. So it's up to you guys how you do it, because in the dimension plan you don't have to have an interior. So with the interior plan you keep that separate and you keep a dimension plan separate. So it's up to you guys. It's gonna be really messy if you do your dimensions on it. So I've shown you how to do dimensions, but I'm not gonna do it in this video. So if you want to learn about how to dimension your drawing, you need to check my other dimension video. I'll drop a link in the description. So now what we're going to do, we're going to start working on our 3D project. To start working on your 3D project, you need to have a backup copy of a drawing without any interior or dimensions. So I've got the copy here. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to make another copy for ground floor, and I'm just going to drop it here. And the second thing you need to do is you need to change your workspaces. So click here and then change that to 3D basic workspaces. If you know about 3D modeling a little bit, then you can go back to your 3D modeling, but I'll be working on 3D basics for a bit and then I'll go to 3D modeling. So in the 3D basic workspace, you got your create tool, boolean operations, some draw objects and modify panel. And right side, the most important, you got your layers and views. So I'm gonna start working on 3D project. The first thing what you do is go to your layer properties, start making new layers. So the first layer I'm going to make is 3D wall, and I'm going to give a color of, let's say, that orange. Close the layer properties, and now you need to use your polyline command and just draw a boundary on your drawing. So make your 3D wall layer as a current layer, polyline, start a boundary, and now use your offset command by typing O and give 4.5 inch. That's our wall width. Alright, so that's done now. And the next thing, what you do, you need to go and change your viewport. So I'm going to use SW isometric, which is a 3D viewport. And now our 3D work starts. So the first command, what we're going to use is basically, the first one I'm going to do, I'm going to keep that copy of this, just drop it here for later use, and I'm going to use extrude command now. The shortcut key for extrude command is EXT, and I select my polyline and I press spacebar, and now as you can see, if my move my cursor down, it's going to draw a minus extrusion. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to give a value of 10 feet on the z-axis. So this is basically our coordinate system now. So x-axis is here, y and z is the top axis. So now I'm going to change this to my shaded, and now as you can see, I've got this 3D object here. So I'm going back to my 3D wireframe, and I'm going to use a boolean operation called subtract. So click on the subtract button, select the outside boundary first, and then select the inner boundary and press spacebar. And now change that wireframe to shaded. As you can see, we got our walls done. It's very cool, isn't it? So now go back to your wireframe. We're going to cut some edges for our windows now and doors. So I'm going to do one window, and then I will complete all of them, and then I come back. Alright, so zoom into this window, and first thing what you do, go to your layer properties, make a new layer of 3D windows, and give a color of, let's say, that color is fine. Alright, so now make that layer as a current layer, and now draw a rectangle. If it's a rectangular simple window, which is really easy to make as well, but I'm going to make some complicated windows as well, so you have a good idea how to work in 3D. So I'm going to just draw a rectangle about here. Alright, and then I'm going to draw a rectangle about here. Alright, so now I'm going to basically move these two rectangles, that and that, and I'm going to give a values of 0 for x value, comma, 0 for y value, comma, and 2 feet for z value. Double enter. So now as you can see, we got our windows there. So now use your extrude command, select this object and select that object, press spacebar, and make sure that your cursor is on z value on a positive. So give a value of 6 feet. Done. So now you've got your two windows cutting edges done. So now I'm going to show you how you can move around in your 3D workspace. So hold on the shift key and use your mouse wheel and just move around. Alright, so now what we're going to do, we're going to copy and paste all of these. So I'm going to use my NE isometric view, and I'm going to copy that, these windows done. But let's see the distance of this window. Use your DI command, and that's about 4 feet, right? So check the distance on the top one. That's right, that's about 4 feet as well. So let's say that you've got a window of 3 feet somewhere. So you don't have to make a new rectangle. What you can do is you can use that press pull command. So click on this press pull command, and basically I'm gonna turn off my Windows wall layer, sorry, 3D wall layer, and then I'm going to use the press pull command. As you can see, if I select this edge, and I can just, you know, press pull it. It's very useful, so just make sure that you know about this command as well. So I'm going to turn on my 3D wall layer as well. So the next thing what we're going to do is we're going to cut some edges. So I'm going to change that to shady with wireframe. Alright, so now use your boolean operations called subtract. Click on that, and then the first object, what you need to select from what you're gonna minus. So select the wall first, press spacebar one time, and then select whatever you need to minus that. So I'll select this window. So select these windows, and then press spacebar. There you go, guys. So you got your cutting edges done for your windows. So now we cut some edges for our door. So that's the same way you do it. You go to your layer properties first, and then make another layer, 3D door, and give a color, any different color should be fine. Make a rectangle, and then extrude that to about, let's say, 8 feet, and then copy that from this point and just drop one here, and there's another door at the back. Just drop that about here. Done. So now type SU, select your wall, and select 3 of these objects. Alright, so change that to shaded. So now you got your doors done. So there's few things. What we're going to do here is go back to your wireframe, and basically I'm going to press pull. So the press pull command is very useful. Select the press pull command and use that, and just move around to where you can select, and now you're gonna select that point. Alright, so now I've got rid of that. So I'll select this and I'll click on here. So now if I change that to my 3D wireframe, as you can see that we got rid of that. So now I'm going to basically give an offset of I'm going to get rid of this line and get rid of this line as well. So, and I'm going to give offset of like 1 feet. And extend these lines. Alright, and then get rid of these lines as well. And copy this one object and just drop that about here. Alright, so now use your boundary command, BO, and pick a point. Click here, here, and here. And now you extrude them as well, all of these, to about 10 feet. Alright, so we got this thing done now, and now I'm going to cut edge for my garage. So go back to your wireframe, make another window, sorry, rectangle, and then extrude that to about 8 feet, 5, 6 inch, and then SU, select that. Alright, so now if you change that to shaded, now you got your doors done and windows done. So now what we're going to do, we're going to make a window. I'm going to show you only one window how to make, and I will paste that on the spot. So, and then once I'm done, then I'll come back and I'll show you a few more things. So to make a window, what you do is you basically check the dimensions. So DI That's going to be 4 feet as we know already, so 4 feet, and the top would be 6 feet. Alright, so I'll make that to Wi-Fi, and I'm gonna go back to my top view. Alright, so to make a simple window, you need to make a rectangle. So I'm gonna start drawing a rectangle from this point, and I'm going to click on dimensions, so I could give length, which would be 4 feet, and height would be 6 feet. So I've got my rectangle there, and now I'm going to offset that 2 inch, and I'm going to make another copy of this, drop it about here, and change your viewport to SW isometric, zoom in, and now extrude that to about 2 inch is fine. And now use your boolean operation called subtract, select the outside part and the mid part, and you got subtracted. And now here what you do is basically extrude that the middle part about 0.2 inch and change that to 3D glass layer. I've made that before, so and now I'm going to move that from this midpoint and just drag that and drop it to the midpoint of the windows. Alright, so I'll change my viewport to shaded, so it hasn't been subtracted yet, so I'll select outer part and select the middle part. Done. So I've got my windows done. So it's very simple. So I've shown you how to make a window. So to rotate that, basically what you do is select your 3D rotate command, type 3D rotate, and then select this. For the base point, you select this base point. For axis, click on this X axis and just click here again and just slide it up, and you can turn on your ortho, or you can give an angle of 90 degrees, but I'm gonna turn on my ortho by pressing F8. So now I'll just drop that there. To rotate on a Z axis, what you do is select your rotate command, select the object, and then click here, and then just because your ortho is on, you can just drop it. So now I'm gonna copy paste and I'm gonna drop all my windows, and then once I'm done, then I'll speak to you guys. Alright. Alright guys, so our windows are done now. I'm just gonna change that to shaded so you can see that our windows are done now. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a door, but first I'm going to make a garage door. So I'm going to go to layers, make another layer for garage door, and change that color to this bluish color, and let's extrude this garage door now, and I'm going to give 8.5 feet. So this is basically our garage door done now. I'm gonna click on it and I'm gonna change the layer to garage door. Alright guys, so now we're going to make our door. To start making a door, go back to your top view, zoom in here, and then just draw a rectangle. So I'm gonna type D for dimensions, so 2.5 feet. I've got my rectangle there, and I will offset that by 2 inch inside. Done. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to explode that inner rectangle, and now I'm going to divide that by 6. So div for divide. Select this line and gives a number of segments 6, enter. So as you can see, nothing happened, but it actually divided in the points. So for now they are basically a single pixel. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to type a command ddp type, and then select this click OK. As you can see, now you got this. Alright, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to draw a line here from this one to perpendicular, and I'm going to give offset of 1 inch on both sides. Alright, so I'm going to get rid of this line, and I'm going to basically copy these two lines from this point to every single node we got. Alright, so now I've got that, so I'm going to get rid of all the points now. And now I'm going to use my trim command using fence selection. Got that. Alright, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to use my boundary command. First go to your SW isometric view, and as you can see, these are the separated objects. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use a boundary command, pick points, click on each rectangle, and now I'm going to move this. Alright, so I'm going to move this here. I'll get rid of these, and I'm going to make another copy of this about here, and then I'm going to extrude this complete object of 2, maybe 3 inches fine, 3 inch. And I'm going to use my Boolean operation called subtract and get rid of all these inside parts. Alright, so now change your viewport to shaded. Now you can see you got this. And now I'm going to make a glass for this door. Alright, so first what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the filler command. So I'm going to give a bit of filler command on the corners to make them more smoother. So I'm going to use F, type R for radius, and give about 0.3, enter, and select these corners. So once you render your door, it's gonna affect more smoother. So that's a good idea to apply that fillet. Alright, so now that's done. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to extrude all of my inner objects about 0.2, and I'm going to select all of them and then change the layer to 3D glass, and I'm going to move them. I'm going to change to my wireframe. So I'm going to move all of these, select from one midpoint, and then just drop it somewhere here. Alright, done. So as you can see now, our door is done. So later I'll show you how to make a handle for the door, but for now this is fine. And I'm going to 3D rotate that. So 3D rotate, select this door, select this face point, select your x-axis and put 90, done. And I'm going to copy this door from this midpoint and just drop it. So you need to change that to 3D wireframe so you could drop it. So I'm going to copy this and just drop it about here. Right, so our door is done. So I'm going to 3D rotate, and I'm going to select that, and then angle would be z-axis, and I'm going to give a value of 180. Alright, so now we got the door done on the other side. So you can see that these things are on the other side now. So I'm going to copy this from midpoint and just drop that here, and at the end we got this here. Alright, so now as you can see, we got our doors done now. Alright guys, now I'm going to start working on my first floor. So I'm going to fast forward the work I do on the first floor, and a few things what I realized that I want to share with you guys and I want to teach you guys. I will explain them, otherwise I will just fast forward and you can see how I make my first floor. So to make my first floor, first thing you need to do, go back to your top view and just make another copy for your first floor and just drop it here. Alright, so next thing, what you want to do, you want to isolate layers. So I'm going back to my 2D and drafting annotation workspace, and I'm going to isolate layer. So select this command and isolate this layer, and you need to get rid of all these interiors and unisolate, and then what else you need to get rid of, and that's it for now. And then I'm gonna start using my polyline command. So I'm going to back my 3D basic workspaces and I'm going to make another layer. I'm going to use 3D wall first, and I'm going to give this a yellow color. Maybe this yellow is fine. Alright, so now I will make that layer as my current layer, and I'm going to do the same thing what I did before with my ground floor. Draw a polyline, you can actually get rid of hatching if you want, but now I'll just keep that. Alright, so I've got my done, and then I'm gonna offset that 4.5 inch inside, and I'm going back to my SW metric view, then extrude the walls. I'm gonna turn off my window layer for a bit. I'm going to turn off my window layer so I could get, instead of extruding those windows line as well, so I could extrude them. So ext for extrude, and just give a value about 10 feet. Done. And then I'm going to start cutting edges. SU for subtract boolean operation, and then done. So you can see that by changing that to shaded. Alright, we got that done. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to start cutting my windows edges, and then once I'm done, then I will come back and show you guys. Okay, so now I'm going to drop a slab on the top of my ground floor, and then I'm going to drop this first floor on the top of that. So for that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn off a few layers first. I'm going to turn off my 2D stair layer. I'm going to turn off my door, interior, and wall and window layer off. So just leave the wall on first for a bit. Alright, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this boundary porch area and that area. So I'm going to copy from, pick this point and just drop it about here. So as you can see that we got that. So I'm going to explode that, and I'm going to get rid of these two lines. Alright, and I'm going to make another boundary. So I'm just going to go and make a layer first. Say 3D slab. I've got that layer already, so I'm gonna make that layer as currents 3D slab, and I'm going to use my boundary command BO for the shortcut. Click here and then just keep that copy about there and copy one more time. Alright, so now we are going to extrude that to about 4.5 inch, and I'm going to move that, and I'm going to drop that about on the top of my ground floor. Alright, so now this slab is done, and then the next part what we do is I'm going to turn off my wall layer, and I'm going to copy this first floor and I'm just going to drop that on the top of my 3D slab. There you go. Alright, so this is, let's have a look how does it look like in shaded. Alright, so now we got pretty much that kind of stuff now. Alright, so now what we do, I'm going to draw on a porch area, I'm going to draw a boundary and the pillars from at the back. So for that, just go back to your 3D wireframe and turn on your wall layer. So once your wall layer is on, then you can basically go to your top view, and in your top view you need to copy these lines and just drop them here. Alright, so now what we do now is I'm going to use my join command to join these 3 lines. Now as you can see, it's a single object now. Alright, so now we go back to our and draw a line on z-axis about 2.5 feet. Just change your UCS first, drop it here, X here and Y on top. So now we got that properly. So I'm going to draw a rectangle here of dimension 4.5, 4.5, done. Alright, so that's done, and I'm going to use fillet command, radius about 1 inch. That's fine, and I'm going to give another radius about here. Alright, a copy of this path because we're gonna need it later. Alright, so now I'm going to extrude that to the path. That's our path done, and now I'm going to make a pillar. So to make a pillar, make your UCS back to a word, and then maybe draw a polyline of 2.5 feet, done, and then go to your top view and just try to turn up your auto by pressing F8. Just try to make your maybe line about 2.25 and then down about 2.25, and then turn up your auto and make sure you're on your polar. So go back here and then here and then type A for arc and done, and make another line of that reference point from there and then just finish it. Alright, so now we got some weird looking pillar done, but so I'm going to revolve this command. Click here and then click on revolve, click here, click on this, and there you go. So you've got your revolve. I'm going to enter, and now we got our pillar done. So I'm going to 3D rotate that, and I'm going to select this point, and I'm going to select this, and I'm going to give an angle value of 90 degrees. So I'm going to offset this about 2.25 inside. I'm gonna keep a copy of both of them about here, and then I'm going to divide. I'm gonna make this as a block. So 3DP is a block name. Pick a point, just pick a center point there, select your object, that's my object, and click OK. The block is done. So now use your divide command. So div, divide command, select this line. B for block, 3DP is our block name. Okay, align yes, and number of segments I'm gonna give 45. There you go. So you got your pillars done now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make another layer, 3D pillars, and I'm going to give a pink color, and I'm going to select these, all of the pillars, and I'm going to change them to 3DP. Alright. Big point, and I'm going to drop them about there. There you go. So you got your pillars done. Alright guys, this is what we have so far. So if you're wondering that where these pillars come from, then as you know that we had the rectangles on our ground floor, so I just extruded them and I just copy and pasted them there. So it's pretty simple. And now there's one thing left to make is our top roof. So for the top roof, what you have to do is basically just copy this face by using this copy face command, and I've got that here. And now this is separated lines, so I'm going to join them first. Use your join command and just select all, and now as you can see it's a single object now. So I'm going to offset about 6 feet inside. That's done. And now I'm going to explode both of them again, and now I'm going to move these middle part 0, 0, 2, maybe 3 feet is fine. Alright, so now I'm going to go to my surface panel and use my loft command. So use this line, done, and then same command, done, same command, done. And the last thing what you do, use your join command again, click here, select all these objects and make them as a single object, and then loft them again. So this is basically surface lofting, not a solid lofting. Done. Now let's try our patch command. Select this surface, select that surface, select this, and all of these as well. Alright, so top done, and then the same as the bottom and in the bottom. So just get rid of this line, and now use your patch command. 1, 2, 3. Use your shift key to deselect them. Alright, so now we selected all of them. Alright, done. So it's been patched from the bottom as well. So what you do now is just copy these and just drop it on the top of your first floor. Turn off your auto by pressing F8. Alright, so what we get now, Pretty cool, right? So we got our floor done as well. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this and I'm going to copy that, and I'm just gonna take this and I'm just going to drop that. Turn off your auto by pressing F8 and just drop it here. Alright, so now we have done our floor and our drawing looks alright now. Okay, so the next thing what we're going to do, we're going to add some designs and make our drawing look a bit better. So I'm just going to delete the unnecessary stuff in my drawing now. Alright, so we have one thing here. Basically what it is it's a, let's say I've got this boundary, right? So what I can do with it is I can basically make my, I'm just gonna extrude this about, just gonna extrude this, go to your solid and use your extrude command and give it about 1 feet. And now what you can do is you can just move this, and from that bottom point you can just drop it here. Alright, so let's see what we have. Alright, so it looks alright now. Okay, so we got the bottom part as well. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my press pull command, and I'm just going to select that face and just gonna pull it at the front. That's fine. And from the right I'm going to just press pull that again. Just gonna press pull a little bit backwards, so up till there. Done. So this is going to be our step, and this is going to be our plants area. Alright, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to do one more thing here. I'm just going to use my press pull command, and I'm just going to press pull it same point. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to draw a rectangle here, or you see a rectangle from this point to this point, and I'm going to expand that from perpendicular, perpendicular, and I'm going to grab that vertex as well, and I'm going to use that as a perpendicular as well, and I'm going to extrude that to bottom. I'm going to use Boolean operation, subtraction from this point to this point. Alright, so now what we have here is basically this is our car area. So I'm going to give a little bit of slope here. So to give a slope here, what I can do, I can use your UCS command, UCS, and just drop that about here. X value would be top. Done. So now I can draw a rectangle here from this point to this point, and I can just grab that vertex and just drop that there. And now I can basically extrude this from up till this point. Alright, and now I can type SU, get rid of this, and get rid of from there. So as you can see that I've got rid of my, and I made a slope here for the car. Same here, you can do that as well. So now I'll show you what we got here. Alright, so now I'm gonna change that to my shaded. Alright guys, this is our 3D model now. Before we jump into the rendering, what I'm going to do, I'm going to just quickly look at the layers all the layers I've got there, so it should be fine. So there's few layers that I have to change, so I'll finish them, and then once I'm done with the layers, then I will start working on rendering, and then we will render our final view, and then I will take that view to Photoshop and add some more features to it so we can get it ready for presentation. So just gonna bear with me, and I'm going to check the layers. So check this, it's on a ground floor, so I'm just gonna make a top floor, top roof, change that to top roof, that's right. And check this ground floor, that's a ground, that's fine. But what I want to do, I want to just change this face actually. So I just go back to my solid, and then I will go to copy face command. Go to home, and then just copy that face. I'm gonna just color that face basically. I'm just gonna color that to green. Done. And I'm just gonna color the same face to green because we can apply materials to a colored one. So I'm just gonna give the same color to green. Done. And now what we're going to do, we're going to make a single step here. So go to your 3D wireframe and just draw a rectangle here about, change the UCS first to the world, and draw a rectangle from this one to about there. That's fine. And extrude that to about here, and fillet that radius should be, let's say 3 inch. Done. And change that to a step. So I'll go back to my layer properties, make a new layer, give a name steps, and just close that. Select this object and make that to step. Alright, it's done. Right, so now what we're going to do, I'm going to basically isolate my object so I could get rid of all the drawings that we have down here. So I'm just going to turn off all my 2D layers. So turn off interior. Now turn off all my 3D layers, so turn off all of them. Turn off ground. I'm just gonna keep that layer 0. And turn off your step layer, top roof layer, and wall layer. Alright, so doors, and what else we have here? Alright, and just get rid of all of them. Alright, so now just turn all the layers back on. Alright, so we got this here now. Alright, so now let's jump into the materials. So how can we apply a material? So you go to your Realize tab, and you have this material panel here. So click on this material browser. First, let's add one more thing here. What I'm going to add is go to your surface panel, and just get rid of the other stuff first. So just got rid of the stuff we don't need. Alright, so I'm just going to use purge command, purge. So purge all, purge this item, purge all items, close, done. Our drawing is pretty light now. So now go to your planar, draw a planar here, Now just move that a little bit. There, done. So now if I change that to shaded, you can see that it's pretty awesome now. And there's one thing you need to do. You need to select your whole drawing and 0,0,1 feet. Done. So now we got this on the proper UCS, and just select your drawing. Alright, so just select all your drawing and then 0,0, keep 1 feet. Alright, done. So our drawing is done now. Alright, so now let's say we're gonna start applying materials. So go to your visualize tab and click on this material browser. So what we have here is I need a wall material and I need a material for my floor and I need a material for my roof and rest of the stuff. So first select go to your home directory and here you can select materials. Alright, so now I need a wall material, so wall paint. I can select this brownish wall paint. I can double click, I can drag that to my browser window, so I just light steel blue and I can just take that white with me. I've got this wall matte white there and I need wood as well, so go to your wood and select something like this is fine, that's your wood. And then I need a glass and just select your one of the glass, whatever you like here. So I'll just select this golden glass, should be fine. And then I will select my roofing materials, so I'll take roofing and I will select one of, yeah, this should be fine. This should be fine for the roofing. Alright, so now let's apply some material. So now click here and click on attach by layer. Alright, so now for the wall, what did we choose? We choose this white matte, yeah. So just drag that 3D wall and 3D first wall, done. This is for alright, so that's wood, that's for the windows and doors. So where the windows gone? So 3D windows, drag that 3D windows and 3D doors. Alright, so for the glass, select that and 3D glass is fine. And for the ground, just select this dark polish wood. Alright, done. Click here. As you can see that now you can see even inside whatever you have. For the color slabs, what I'm going to do, I'm going to just get one of the color about, let's say I've got stone. Yep, stone's fine. I'm just gonna grab that, drop it there, and I'm going to get that attached by layer, and I'm going to use that for the pillars as well. So where the pillars we have, so 3D slab, grab that, and where the pillars we got, so 3DP, grab that as well. Step, stone's fine, no issues. And we don't need interiors, we don't need 2D stairs, we don't need windows, doors, done. Alright, cool. So this is what we have right now. Alright, so now what I'm going to show you the quick way. Turn on shadows. Let's say you go for full shadows, right? And create a light. You don't have to create a light, and just click here, and then select the quality. Should be specify image size. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to 9 by 80, and I'm going to click on this aspect ratio and 1980, and click OK. And then what you do is just click on render, or you can just turn on the sky as well. So sun status fine, turn on the sun. And what else we have here? So just I'm gonna click on render, and you can even 3 p.m. is fine. So I'm just gonna click on render. So now it's gonna start rendering. Once it's done, then I will come back and show you guys. Alright, so I'm rendering my final view now. This is just a rough view. This is not basically a rendering tutorial. So if you guys want to learn about rendering, then let me know in the comments below. I'll make a video especially about rendering and animating the video in AutoCAD. So once my final view is done, then I'll come back and I'll just show you guys. And that's it for this tutorial. I hope you guys liked it, and if you guys like this tutorial, be sure to subscribe to my channel and drop a comment below and like this video if you like it. Thanks for watching guys. I'll see you guys in the next video.